Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I said welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Palm Springs, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning.
Morning.
I have a dream that one day, two white boys, one sitting in the basement of his house and another one sitting in Palm Springs in an Airbnb, will discuss quarterbacks.
I'm in Indio, but close enough.
Okay. You're gonna shit all over my MLK Jr. Amazing impersonation there.
It's good. You should do more impressions on the show, Andy.
Well,
I have a dream.
You're the GOAT impressionist, so I mean, it's going from Joe would be like, to me, is like you walk into a restaurant and it gets the A+ rating, and mine is like D-. They're like, it's Chinese food, I'll eat it, but like,
honestly, it's just like a C, because even when the C, you're like, C, this is questionable.
I question B's, man.
Yeah.
I feel like they're pretty forgiving to give you.
That's what I'm saying. It's like getting a C's got to be impossible. They're like,
no,
we
but
found
like
we found
in general, like I remember, at least when I was like in the restaurant hotel world, like you get heads up, man.
Right.
Like
you really got to go. You really got to go out of your way to fuck it up.
That's what I'm saying. Like food inspections come today. Just keep everything clean, man.
Especially the first, like they come the first time and they're like, listen, we're not changing anything right now. We're going to be back in a couple weeks. You got to get all this stuff sorted.
Yeah, I think
it's a take-home test.
I think Mal's had a B in Venice Beach, Mal's Kitchen, which is no surprising.
Which is why I'm like, it's all B's are fine with me. I trust a B.
Yeah, you're right. C is like,
C, I'm like, what are you doing? Just like an Uber driver with like 3 stars. Do you murder a passenger?
Well, that's a good lead into what kind of grade we're going to give Sean McDermott as he's fired.
Well, he gets no grade because he's no longer in class.
Yeah,
he was expelled from school. I don't have to worry about grading him anymore. I'm totally okay with this, by the way, and I'm glad it happened after this round. Giants have officially got Harbaugh all locked up, and so fire away.
Yeah, I'm okay with it as well. I mean, they just what's the thing I saw? And look, here's my thing with coaches. Everything's not 100% on the coaches. Guys have to play the game, as we know. You see this discussion a lot. But where is it? I think I favored it. Like they've just blown. Okay, Bills' last 5 playoffs. 4 of them they blew fourth quarter leads.
Yeah.
Now 3 were to three were to KC. But it's like that's my thing. Can you maintain a fourth quarter lead? That's where I put a lot on coaching. And he's a defensive guy, and the truth is, like, the defense hadn't played that good in a lot of those games.
Let's be honest, it really has little to do with this game in particular. I mean, I think obviously this game was the nail in the coffin, but a lot of people argue, I'd be one of them, Josh Allen's a top 5 quarterback in the league. You've had great offenses. You've had great defenses. You have gotten – did they play in one AFC championship game? They play in 2? Either way, it's not like they're there year in and year out. And honestly, to lose in the divisional round as opposed to the AFC championship game, and to do so because you had to go to Denver to lose the AFC East to New England this year. I mean, I think you could look at this simply and say it's justified by the fact that Mike Vrabel's been in the division for 1 year, 14-3, got the 2 seed, won the division. Are you just lining up to be outcoached for the next 10 years by the only team in your division that has a competent roster?
I mean, it's true. I mean, that's a great point. It's like, I mean, you and I we're big Vrabel guys. It's like the minute he's hired, you and I are probably on the Vrabel's a better coach. Like you already are losing in the head-to-head coaching matchup.
Right.
Already. The minute he's hired. And like you said, year one, he's in the AFC Championship, 14-3, wins the division. Yeah. Look, I think he should have been gone. If the goal is Super Bowl, which it is clearly in Buffalo, I think he should have been gone before that. Plus, look, I'll just bring up the stat. The stat lives another year. No coach QB have ever won a Super Bowl after their first 5 years together. And it holds up. This was what, year 7 of those guys together?
Yep.
Now, look, are they consistently making the playoffs? Are they consistently, minus the Josh Allen's first year, are they at least winning a game?
In a division, again, in a division where you had how many years since was this the first time the Patriots since 2018? When's the last time the Patriots, like when did Tom Brady leave the Patriots? For the 2019 season?
So they won the Super Bowl against the Rams. That was 2018 season. Then he played the next year and then they lost.
So, I mean, we're looking at 5-6 years of no Brady, Patriots, Dolphins, and Jets. Oh, you made the playoffs consistently? Cool.
Yeah, I mean, that's a fair point. I agree. I think it's time for a change. Now, it doesn't mean, like I said, other people aren't accountable. Tough to win a game when your QB has 4 turnovers. When you have 5 turnovers as a team.
And listen, this is not, Josh Allen does not go without blame for this loss.
100%.
And, you know, the conversation around Josh Allen, you can have a variety of different conversations around Josh Allen. I think one of them that you have to have is he's proven, obviously, that he can play really well against playoff caliber football teams. It's not like year in and year out he plays a playoff quality defense and he drops an absolute stinker. But the conversation that you can have around Josh Allen is, do you need a perfect situation? Is that why you're firing your coach? Because everything needs to be elevated around Josh Allen, because he's certainly not, I would argue, hasn't dragged any team that doesn't belong further than it needs, further than people were expecting it to be. So, you know, that right there is like how you can judge Josh Allen right now. Like, there's no doubt about it. He's a top 5 quarterback in the league. But is he single-handedly taking teams that don't belong to play? I guess you could argue top to bottom that the Patriots roster is maybe better than the Bills this year, but there's a reason that game had to be played on the road, and it's because you were the 6 seed this year, or the 5 seed, or whatever it was, and you're not Patrick Mahomesing where you're kind of single-handedly dragging a bunch of guys to the 1 seed or the 2 seed, and now the Super Bowl runs through Buffalo and whatever. So he's certainly not without blame. Now, I think some people are taking this to a point that's dumb. Leave Lamar Jackson out of this. You guys are embarrassing yourselves.
Let's look. I have thought a lot about this since the game. I have been a Josh Allen stan. I've also been a Josh Allen realist. I just want to say, as we jump into this conversation, guys, this isn't this or that. It's not black and white, like you said. It's not like a binary discussion. Josh Allen takes for sure blame in this loss. And you could argue, and by the way, I don't hate that argument. The difference in that game is a fumble for half. Just I don't know what he's doing. One of the that's 3 points. You could argue is the difference in the game, but you could also do that in a lot of instances. So I agree. Josh Allen,
listen,
he's
we're
accountable.
2 or 3 years removed from saying Josh Allen's great, but Josh Allen isn't in the Patrick Mahomes class because he turns the ball over too much.
Because he turns the ball over.
We went through a, I don't know, 2 seasons or a season and a half or whatever it was, not this year obviously, but the last couple of years where Josh Allen wasn't turning the ball over as much, and the Bills were much harder to beat, and you're winning MVPs.
Well, yeah, and let me just say this too about Josh Allen, right? And we'll get to a call here. And again, people, I've seen, again, you guys want to bring in the Lamar, you want to bring in the Burrow discussion, fine, let's have it. Okay, let's just have it. Let me just hit you with the facts. Josh Allen had not turned the ball over in 6 straight playoff games. So, like, I don't know why that just gets ignored. So he basically played great in 6 straight games, and then he laid a stinker. No one's denying it. And for the record, look it up. Everyone's like pro Bills fans or just football dorks like us are posting it. Every great QB's laid a stinker in a playoff game. They really have. You can look up. Guess what, guys? Brady had a 4 turnover playoff game. Peyton Manning did. Brett Favre, like your boy Eli. I'm just bringing that up to say, like, it happens. And everybody wants to say, oh, if this was Lamar, he'd be getting killed. He'd be getting killed. First of all, again, Josh is completely accountable. But, here's the difference between Lamar, in my opinion, between Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen. One, Josh Allen has started 127 straight games. So listen up, Burrow and Lamar fans. Your quarterback can't stay on the fucking field. So let's just start there. He hasn't missed a game in 7+ years. We'll start there. Both of your QBs are injury prone. So therefore, he's already above them in the regular season. Okay, let's go to the playoffs. Burrow and Lamar have, they realistically, if you break it down, and I was looking at it last night, and of course I watch all the games, it's like they have similar stats. Josh Allen, truthfully, his playoff numbers take a hot, steamy shit on both those quarterbacks. That's just statistically, guys. They do. They do. It doesn't mean to say the Bills haven't had good teams and Josh Allen doesn't miss, because he does. That's one of my problems with Josh Allen. To me, he is not to that level because he misses throws that he has to make. And you saw that in this last game. He misses throws that he has to make in the fourth quarter, where guys are open. You're like, dude, how are you missing him? This is the difference. This is why you're not Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen. But at the same token, again, pull it up. Like, again, because you see a lot of, to me, I'm just seeing the Lamar and the Burrow. Dude, Joe Burrow's defense has led his playoff career when he's played. He has. It's backed up by how many points they're giving up, how many turnovers. His defense has led them. Josh Allen really has not had that. He just hasn't. So I just don't think they're on the same level. Again, Burrow, Lamar, they've missed the playoffs too much. Josh Allen is consistently in the playoffs, and I know you're saying easier division.
This is what I'm going to say. Let's start there. Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson aren't in the playoffs this year, so they can't show us whether or not they can win in today's NFL or what, because you guys didn't make it. You're not in the playoffs. So if you're going to start comparing him to guys, maybe compare him to guys in the playoffs and in the playoffs consistently and on the field consistently. And the Joe Burrow thing, I'll give a little bit more of consideration to, but I'm starting like you are with Joe Burrow doesn't stay on the field. Joe Burrow is more injury prone than Lamar Jackson. So when you want to talk about Joe Burrow has the Bengals have missed the playoffs in numerous years in recent history because Joe Burrow didn't play. So until that gets sorted, that's not a conversation. And I would give a little bit more consideration because, and this is what will lead into the Lamar Jackson thing, Joe Burrow is a passing quarterback that does not need to run the ball, not scramble, run the ball to win games. The Lamar Jackson thing, for all you people that are the Lamar Jackson thing isn't a conversation because he's a distressed asset. He's going to get worse year in and year out from here till the end of time. It's already happening. Comparing comparing Lamar Jackson's career and failures and successes to Josh Allen's thus far, cool. Have that conversation all day. That's not, for me, what it's ever been about. What it's been about for me is you're not getting it done and you're not going to get better. And more importantly, you're not going to stay the same. You're going to get worse because you need to run the football to win games. You can't run the football like you once did because you're older and you're more hurt. Josh Allen's ability to continue to be a passing quarterback for 10 more years in this league, he's not getting hurt. And is he going to turn the ball over? I don't know. But his game isn't going to be significantly hampered by being a year older, a year slower, a year more injured. Comparing their pasts, cool. Do it all day. Oh, Lamar Jackson did this, and you're treating him like this, and cool. Do it all day. But if you're a Ravens fan that's like, man, we take a bunch of shit, cool. Let's see how it goes moving forward. Maybe Lamar Jackson will suddenly be a pass-first quarterback that doesn't need to run to win. But the fact that he sleeps through meetings and plays video games and shows up late tells me he's probably not going to improve as a passer.
Completely agree. And again, I think a lot of it is people saying, oh, the narrative is different. The narrative is different. I think it's a weak argument, and we've just laid the foundation why it's a weak argument. Again, I'd argue, and I don't think anybody would disagree, Lamar's had a better coach. Overall, statistically speaking, he's had a better defense, yet still doesn't make the playoffs as much.
I'd argue has had better weapons, in just simply in the fact that Derrick Henry's been there. Who's an elite receiver?
I mean, don't James Cook's real good.
Okay. James Cook is
almost the ball
Derrick
the
Henry.
goddamn time though.
What's that?
He fumbles the ball the goddamn time though.
We're gonna look back on this era and be like, James Cook, elite running back of an era.
Well, I want to pivot back to the quarterback discussion. This is what I want to say, and I'll play a call here from A. Millie. But this is what I want to say to anybody out there having this conversation, because people want to diss Josh Allen or diss whoever. Then who is number two? I pose this question.
Yeah, but guess what? Here's my thing. Let's have the Josh Allen discussion.
I agree. We are.
Let's have the Josh Allen discussion. I am cool to discuss everything that you want. And like, if you're out there and you're a football fan and you go, let's talk about this about Josh Allen. All right, present what you're presenting. And I'll tell you if I agree or disagree. If what you're presenting is he doesn't get the criticisms that Joe Burrow or Lamar Jackson get, this is the narrative. Cool. I'm out on this. I'm out on this argument. Those guys don't play football consistently. So let's start there. And if Joe Burrow, if the Bengals, which they're not going to do because they haven't fired their, like Sean McDermott, if the Bengals were smart, they'd hire Sean McDermott today. The Bengals have no plans on shoring up their coaching situation. The Bengals have no plans on trading a receiver so that they can protect Joe Burrow. So I see nothing that's going to change in what's happening around Joe Burrow. And like I said, Lamar Jackson, think what you want. Think what you want about me and my opinion. Is going to and is currently getting worse every year.
Let's Let's play a call here from A Millie, and then we'll hop into more on this discussion.
Good morning, fellas. It's your boy, A. Millie, calling in to talk about the Bills game yesterday. And the general talking point that I'm seeing is, oh, you got to feel for Josh Allen. Oh, another heartbreaking loss for Buffalo. And I'm just like, why? Why do I have to feel for Josh Allen turning the ball over 4 times? I mean, like, we don't say that when Lamar Jackson loses. We don't say that when Justin Herbert loses. Why do we have to feel for Josh Allen? And granted, look, I'll give him a little leeway. The last interception wasn't on him. The defender just made a great play. So, okay, 3 out of the 5 turnovers were 100% Josh Allen's fault. And I saw a tweet yesterday. It was like Josh Allen in the playoffs, and it was a picture of Phillip Rivers. And to me, that's who Josh Allen is until he shows me he's not. Just like y'all said, Justin Herbert is who he is until he shows y'all he's not. Josh Allen is Phillip Rivers. After yesterday, dude, you can't turn the ball over 4 times in a playoff game and you expect me to believe that you're one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, I mean, regular season, you're great. Playoffs, I mean, that showed me something yesterday. Just want to get you guys' take on it. Is he Phillip Rivers or is he not? Stay dirty.
All right, can I hop on here first?
Sure.
With all due respect, that's whoever posted that is a fucking idiot. He's just not. He's just not. First of all, you know why he's not? I think he's made almost as many playoffs as Phillip Rivers made his entire 17-year career, or at least with the Chargers. We'll start there. We'll start there. Phillip Rivers was too inconsistent. Okay. And again, I just laid it out. Statistically, Josh Allen has had, guys, he had an awful game. No one's disagreeing there. You take that one game away, he has a good playoff record as far as how he's playing. But also my caveat too, I'm not disagreeing. He also has not made the plays when he has to. To me, that's where he needs to go. He has to make those throws, and he hasn't. That's the difference. But again, I'll just cite one game, and I know we don't forget this. It's like he wasn't playing defense when he got the lead with 13 seconds left.
Right.
But
listen, that's years ago now, and so
sure.
I'm going to tackle the 2 parts of Emilie's call separately. First of all, we shouldn't feel bad for Josh Allen.
And I don't.
I think that whole listen, crying because you're emotional and saying that you let your team down is accountability that I like to see. And him showing that makes me think that he'll probably work a lot harder this offseason to get better. And maybe he will, maybe he won't. I don't feel bad for guys, regardless of what they've gone through in the NFL, because they won or they didn't win, short of, Alex Smith, or short of, guys who have a career that's cut short because they were injured, or, a family member died and they stepped away from the game or something like that. Like, I don't feel bad because players don't play as well as they could have and they lost. That's sports. Like, I can't sit around. Like, somebody's got to win the game and somebody's got to lose the game. I'm in the desert because I went to my niece's lacrosse tournament. She lost the chance to play in the finals yesterday because they had a apparently bad call, and then there was a penalty shot, and she's a goalie and they score on her and she doesn't, so they don't make the thing. Was I sitting here crying for my 11-year-old niece, which would be far more reasonable than crying for Josh Allen? That's sports, man. Somebody wins, somebody loses. Bad calls happen. Tough plays happen. I'm not sitting here feeling bad for Josh Allen. Phillip Rivers was a great quarterback, and I would argue that era of quarterback is better than this era of quarterback, in terms of the way. I'm not talking about, obviously these guys can do physical things. We saw with Caleb Williams yesterday. physical things that those guys couldn't do. I think we got a little bit away, and I've talked about this a lot on the last couple episodes. I think we've gotten so scheme heavy that we have stopped, forcing quarterbacks to be smarter. So, I think in a vacuum, Phillip Rivers and Josh Allen is like a conversation that I'd like entertain over a beer. But the truth is this. Phillip Rivers, like you said, didn't make the playoffs.
Made it 7 times in his whole career.
Yeah. And also
LaDainian Tomlinson and Antonio Gates.
That's where I'm going.
You had 2 Hall of Famers. Hall of Famers.
The team with what we're dealing with in the NFL today, with this year, if you look at this year in a vacuum, though, as wide open as this year is, okay, the team that would be my odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl out of every single team that made the playoffs this year, including the Steelers with Aaron Rodgers, including whoever, every single team that made the playoffs this year, my odds-on favorite is the one you add prime LaDainian Tomlinson to. That Pittsburgh team, totally different, with prime LaDainian Tomlinson as the check down instead of fucking Kenneth Gainwell.
Exactly. He's a game changer. And I think, I'm so glad that we both were thinking the same thing. I mean, there's the end of discussion right there. They've made the same amount of playoffs. Josh Allen's in year 8, and one had 2, not one, but 2 of the greatest ever at their position. So I'll end it there. But I want to bring
great defenses.
And very, very good defenses. And to be fair, so the Bills have had some very, very good defenses too. But I want to ask this question to everybody who's like out there wanting to argue. And again, the Josh Allen, the Lamar, the Joe Burrow, whatever it is. Here's my question to all you guys. So then where are we at quarterbacks discussing it realistically in ranking? Because since Patrick Mahomes entered the NFL, or since he became the starter of the Chiefs, let's just look at the AFC. That's all I care about right now, because they're all AFC guys. Since he came into the AFC and started, first year was 2019. Only 3 QBs have made the Super Bowl from the AFC. It's him, it's Tom Brady, and it's Joe Burrow. So the reason I bring it up is like, so where are these guys? Because it's been dominated by Mahomes and Mahomes' team. So I think we need to kind of reassess how we're ranking these guys. And in my opinion, then it puts a spotlight back into what you and I always say of like this weird disrespect that Mahomes has been getting the last few years. Because guess what? It's always his team that's making the Super Bowl.
But the difference between Mahomes and every single guy that we're talking about is he does elevate the teams that on paper don't belong there at all.
Great point. And you know what else he does? And I said this last year when the Bills lost. He makes, and that's where he's different than all these guys. He makes the plays when he has to. When he has to in the fourth quarter with the game on the line. Josh Allen has not shown the ability to do that. I would argue Joe Burrow, even in the Super Bowl. I know it's Aaron Donald. Somehow, don't let him sack you. Like Caleb Williams yesterday. Don't let him sack you so you can throw the ball to Chase for the game-winning touchdown. Lamar, we've seen what Lamar. And to me, that's where it's like there's still Mahomes, one, and then we can start having these discussions after that.
But also, like, Drake May played fine yesterday, turned the ball over a few times.
Yeah.
And it was a super close game. In a game that CJ Stroud was a fucking disaster and the Texans offense was a fucking disaster. It was still a game. Josh Allen, the game goes to overtime. We're talking about going to overtime in Denver against a great defense. So my thing is, and I know, and rightfully so, Broncos fans are probably super excited about Bo Nix, his future.
He played great.
Obviously, he's not playing for the rest of the year, and that's you
stinks.
want to feel bad about something.
Yeah, that stinks.
Feel bad for Bo Nix, especially recovering from that injury at 41. That's going to be tough to come back from. But Bo Nix played great. But let's also take a step back as a guy who isn't a Broncos fan or a Bills fan, had literally no rooting interest in that game. Just wanted good football. Best thing ever happened to me, overtime. Everybody, I'm sure, is backflipping over his future and feeling bad for his present for Bo Nix today. The game that ended in overtime in Denver to one of the best defenses in football, on which I'm sure we're going to talk about, at very least a questionable play, a questionable interception call.
Yeah.
So, you can't all of a sudden be throwing Josh Allen down a sewer drain and backflipping for Bo Nix when the game's a coin flip.
Yeah.
In Denver. Now let's talk about this interception.
Yeah. Yeah. I this is what I posted on Twitter, and I think this sums it up perfectly. I've watched football for 35 plus years, professional football. I've had Sunday ticket for, I think, 11 straight seasons. I still don't know the rules, and that is a problem. And that's what I posted. Like, I don't, for a guy who just, you've always joked about this, about my love of the NFL. For a guy who eats, drinks, and sleeps the NFL as much as I do, I don't know the rules. That is a problem. You can't say that for me about the NBA or Major League Baseball, sports that I'm not as avid about. I know the rules. I don't know the rules. That's a problem.
This is one of those things. I felt exactly the way I felt watching that as I did when I watched the Tuck Rule. When people are saying, well, that's the rule. And I'm like, is it really? And let me be very clear. The Tuck Rule, when it happened, was the rule. And I reacted with, is that really the rule? Now, it ain't the rule anymore. And that one was a lot more ridiculous because why is that a rule? Why is the rule tucking the ball means you can't fumble it anymore or something? We're glad it's gone. But I had the exact same reaction watching that as I did when I watched the Tuck Rule. Because people online whose knowledge I respect, people announcing during the game who I trust know the rules, are saying this is the rule. And I'm saying, is it? That's interesting. Because like you, I've watched a lot of football. And you'd think this would come up more often. That this is the rule. I mean, Richard Sherman said it yesterday. They give that on Twitter. He said, I'm a DB. I'm as biased as they come. They give that ball to the receiver every fucking time.
Tie goes to the runner. Tie goes to the receiver.
And that to me was why I was like, that's the rule. If that's the rule, how come they give it to the receiver all the time? My other problem with that, and this is my overriding problem with the thing. Why didn't we review it? Why wasn't this talked about? Why didn't the game stop? This is a pretty big fucking play.
You want to hear what they're saying? Why?
Yeah.
Which, get out your tinfoil hats. They're saying the game was already running late. They had to push the Seahawks-Niners game. There's rumors like the NFL is aware. Obviously, the refs are. The refs are aware. They're trying to just expedite this game in a way.
For what purpose, though?
I agree. I mean, that's what the hearsay.
For the Seattle fans who are such ride or dies that they're not allowed to sell their tickets. They can't be in the stadium 12 more minutes. Oh, here's one thing that's absolutely fucking sure. if the Seattle game started while that was still going on, which obviously they don't do, but if it did, no one's turning it off. So what are we fucking talking about? The NFL as a whole gets more TV time?
Again, I'm just saying this is I'm not confirming whether this is true. This is just some things I saw. I agree. You have to explain. You have to. I mean, look, Sean McDermott, and I think this was a good coaching move. Use the timeout, right? Because you can't challenge, but use the timeout to be like, hey, man, I just need to talk to you guys about this.
And essentially saying, like, I'm giving you an opportunity to think about the fact that you should whatever. And they're like, yeah, we're good.
So here it is in real time.
Does he have a case? That's the question, Gene. No, I don't think.
I'm sorry, not real time. So this is slow-mo. But here's what I find fascinating. Gene Steratore is just adamant. This is what always blows my mind, is adamant that he doesn't have a case. If Brandon Cooks doesn't have a case, that this is a catch.
Does he have a case? That's the question, Gene. No, I don't think he does, Jim. I just don't think Cooks really has firm possession.
Right now. By the way, I just want everyone to know, I'm not saying this is a catch versus interception because like I said in my post and like I said right now, I don't know. I don't fucking know. I do know right now he has possession of the ball and his knees are on the ground.
Well, he's fully on the
both
ground.
Players hit the ground. Quite honestly, I think by the time they both get down there and you're defining firm possession, I think it's on McMillan. I mean, he's got it up.
So, like, I mean, let me ask you, Joe. He's on the ground.
Andy, well, like, again,
McMillan's on.
Again,
so to me,
I have no rooting interest. Everything to me tells me, and I don't give a fuck about freeze frame, stopped, whatever. I have never seen it. I never see it. Richard Sherman plays defensive back. He never sees it. If you're telling me this is the rule, it doesn't make me question this play. It makes me question 2,000 other plays I've seen.
Well,
we'll get to that
in a second. All right, we keep losing Joe. Let me just play this through.
But I thought he lost it as he was falling toward the ground there, which wouldn't put him down by contact.
But he didn't lose it. He has it when he hits the ground.
That was slow-mo. Here's real speed.
So Gene Steratore did something which I thought was interesting. He put out on Twitter, and I just want to, for the record, guys, Gene Steratore he's an extension of the mouthpiece of the NFL. I think that's important for people to know. He comes on CBS as their analyst, but let's be honest. It's like Roger Goodell speaks for the owners. Gene Steratore, for the most part, doesn't want the NFL to look bad. He posted this, then sped up, which I'm like, I guess he's trying to counter the slow-mo. He posted this, I don't know if you saw it on his Twitter, of like, well, I think we need to see the sped up version.
The time they both get down there and you're defining firm possession, I think it's on McMillan. Say that it would be simultaneous. It feels to me like Cooks doesn't have firm possession of the football.
So he did that.
I don't. Listen. Here's something that anybody who actually is a Joe Prano fan across the board, from sports to politics to comedy to news to whatever. If I'm killing you on the internet, 95% of the time it's due to your lack of consistency. It's due to your lack of consistency. This doesn't have shit to do with this being a rule. This has me watching 40 years of football and going, not the first time this has happened. So why the first time it went this way?
Did you see it happen last night?
Yeah.
I mean, let's just show it. I mean, of course, they acknowledged it last night. Like, what's crazy is this literally happened last night. I mean, how? And I know a lot of people talk like, how is this Devontae Adams catch that much different?
It's not. In fact, it was certainly gone before he was on the ground.
And then did you see this one that Mike Florio posted of Aaron Rodgers? Watch this one from earlier in the season against the Ravens. This one's wild too. This one again is eerily similar to Brandon Cooks against the Broncos.
Back to himself.
Watch this.
Should have let that one go. Oh. And with a broken wrist, still tries to. Oh, he might be down.
Yeah, Buchanan was the one he was battling with.
Look, he doesn't have the ball in his hands, Joe. Look at this.
Yeah.
They considered it an Aaron Rodgers catch.
Yeah, but if Rodgers is down right there, if he still has possession, his knee's on the ground.
He is on the ground.
Out. But this won't be challengeable. This will, with the
So
turnover.
Romo just said if his knee's on the ground.
New York and the referees. Let's see.
Look,
does he have that ball?
Andy,
He might
again,
have that ball.
this is my like. Here's the thing that you need to understand. I don't care. Like, I don't care if the Broncos get it. I don't care if the Bills get it. My picks for the thing don't matter to me. My Super Bowl predictions don't matter to me. I don't care. I just don't care. What I care about is consistency. And the reason that I am like, we're not looking at this is because it feels unreasonable for me to watch football for 40 years and be the only time that this went this way. And they make it like, duh, it always goes that way. What are you talking about? Don't gaslight me. Don't fucking gaslight me into saying this is the rule. This has always been the rule. This is always the way we call it.
Yeah, I agree. And look, notice something else. Neither of us are blaming this loss on that play. I'm not blaming this loss for Buffalo on this play. Again, they had 5 turnovers. Josh Allen had 4 of them. They had their chances. They didn't take advantage of them.
And also, let's go one fucking further. Let's take it. This is the same thing to me as you have an argument. We're having a discussion. It's a reasonable discussion about like where Josh Allen is as quarterback in the NFL. And then you're like, well, how about Lamar Jackson? Cool.
Brendan loses his mind. He keeps losing his mic. Look, man, I just, this is my problem. This has always been my problem with the NFL. Again, if the rules are not consistent, to piggyback what Prano's saying, it's not good. It's a fucking problem, man. It's a major, major problem when a night later, and you dorks on Twitter can argue it's not similar, but it is. The Devontae Adams catch against the Bears is...
How could it not be similar?
Everyone's like, it's not the same thing, but it is. I just showed you 2 videos. That are eerily similar. Or how about this? How about this?
What I was going to say before my mic failed me was I'm here to have the reasonable conversation with you. And then you make it unreasonable. Well, the game would have been over if they had called that holding in the end zone. Cool. Missed plays happen. Missed calls happen in the NFL all the time. You're embarrassing yourself. And when you say that, it makes me think that Buffalo got screwed. It makes me think Buffalo got screwed when you're talking about a missed holding call. They miss holding calls on every fucking play.
Every single play.
It makes me think they got screwed when you're now looking for random fucking plays to point to. No one is arguing here that NFL referees don't miss calls. And if they don't get every call right, that you have an argument. What we're arguing here is, why didn't you fucking look at it?
Why didn't you explain it?
Stop the game. Explain it. Yeah. And also, why aren't you doing that on every other one of these calls? The idea that you guys can determine at full speed, this is what happened, but every other example of this, you can't, and you rule the other way, is where it gets shady, weird, inconsistent, and dumb.
Again, conspiracy theorist, is this game rigged? Like, you're not helping your cause about the discussions of the NFL being rigged. You're just not. And that's my problem again, is that there isn't any consistency. I still don't know what a catch is. We're having this goddamn discussion every year, and it's getting tiring. It's getting tiring. Like you said, neither of us have a whatever. Like, was I rooting for the Bills? Yeah. But did I enjoy a great game? Yeah. Like I don't have a dog in this fight. I just want to see a game that's well called. And yeah, I think the refs, I'm just sick of this. Did I think there was a lot of inconsistencies on that final drive with pass interference and missed calls on both teams' final possession? Yeah, like those don't bother me as much. But like you can't do how they did this. We're all getting tired of it. Like, you got to fix this, NFL.
They're like, no, we don't. We actually don't.
They don't.
Thank you.
They know. They know. It's like, it doesn't matter because I'm still going to get the NFL. They're like, guys, Andy's still going to get the Sunday ticket. He's still going to watch. It's like they know, and they're right. To their credit, they're right. Just fix this shit, though. I'm sick and tired of seeing it. We got to discuss this. Do you want to bounce around, or do you want to discuss that game more? I wanted to. I mean, this Caleb Williams throw last night, because we're talking quarterbacks, and you and I have been raving about his throws all year. I just, I'm to the point with Caleb Williams. Can the throw he made last night? Can any QB make this throw?
I don't think there's 3 QBs that attempt to make it.
Under duress, game on the line.
Under duress. I posted it's the 90s Madden play. I'm just going to keep going backwards, and then I'm going to fucking chuck it. Like, under duress, he was running in the wrong direction. He was sprinting in the wrong direction.
Let me just pull up. We got a couple views. We'll start with the aerial view from the sky cam.
Durant on the outside and simply throw one up. But it wasn't there in time, but I have never seen anything like that. In all my days, I have never seen anything like that. That was as blind a throw.
He's running in the wrong
just knowing where your guy was, give him a chance. And there are probably only 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the NFL that could have.
And here's the thing. I know
it's let's talk about the actual setup before we talk about the throw. So Caleb Williams is athletic and can back away from can essentially pace run with defensive linemen backpedaling. Okay? But he was backpedaling, he's kind of pace running with them. And then he goes, yeah, but at some point I'm going to need to step in to throw this ball. So he turns his head away from the field. This is like when an outfielder puts their head down to run to a spot and looks back up. He puts his head down. He sprints. He proper sprints away from them so that he can get separation, so that then he can turn back to the field and he'll have a little bit of space between them and him to step into the throw he needs to make. That's crazy.
It's insane. It's absolutely insane. And I know everybody likes to dig at Collinsworth, but I agree with him. He's saying of all his years watching football, and that's how he reacted with the Odell play, if you remember.
Yeah.
And I think both were accurate.
Yeah.
Both were accurate. I've never seen a throw like this in all my years watching football. Not once. So that's the Skycam view. And then this is a great view. This is the field level view with Kmet making the catch from the end zone. This is wild. Oh, sorry. All right, this is the field level view.
I'll say, when I watched it, the way the defender was moving back toward the goal line, I actually did think there was offensive pass interference. I thought that was going to get called back. I waited until the 4th replay where we saw it, and I was like, "Oh, it's hand fighting and the snow." And I don't think that play happens if it's not snowy.
Yeah.
I think he has a little more traction. I think a little bit of hand fighting doesn't take his momentum, doesn't take him to the goal line. At first, I thought it was offensive pass interference. It wasn't. It was an incredible throw. And listen, we can suck off Caleb Williams all we want. He also turned the ball over 3 times. And if he doesn't, they probably win that football game. Now, you could argue he's not in that football game unless he makes plays like that, which are also the plays that lead to turnovers from time to time. And
that last, I agree, but I'm also going to give him. I don't know if you've watched much on that last interception.
Yeah.
Just stopped running.
Sure.
He like that was
no doubt about it. Here's the exciting thing as Bears fan. This is year 2 of Caleb Williams. This is year 1 of Ben Johnson. Caleb Williams, unlike Lamar Jackson, isn't suddenly going to get worse because he doesn't have that one step. He's an insane passer of the football. He can make every throw. He's incredible when he's throwing on the run. Ben Johnson puts the ball in his hands. Ben Johnson is like win or lose these games.
Well, you called it last night when we were texting, and McVay took accountability for it. You were like, what is McVay doing on 3rd and 1?
When you have the MVP of the league and you're going with a fucking Blake Corum, a toss play.
Yeah, a toss sweep to Blake Corum, whereas Ben Johnson said, like you're saying, he's putting the whole game.
Even the was it 3rd and 1 or whatever, where they did the like off tackle tush push. You're like, give me that. If you're not giving me a passing play, give me that. Put the ball in your quarter, like keep it pushing toward the line. What did McVay say about it? Because that was one of the worst calls. I was like, if they lose that because of that, if they lose that game because of that call.
Well, McVay, again, to his credit, he took full accountability. He said, this is his direct quote. Offensively, man, I did not do a very good job for our group tonight. Our guys were able to overcome it. I did not like the feel of the flow of the game that I had outside of the first series. Defensively, they kept us in despite of how poor of a job I did for our group. I'm grateful that they found a way to stick with it and overcome some bad coaching by me tonight.
It's incredible.
I love it.
Yeah.
I have never hidden. Like, I just love McVay. It's complete accountability. The game ends. He knows I called and you and I were texting about it. He's like, I called a shit game. D stepped up. We won. But yeah, to reiterate what you're saying about the Bears, it's like I said, sky's the limit. Clearly, number 2 seed, win the division, win a playoff game. Year 1 of Ben Johnson, year 1 of him with Caleb Williams. Sky's the limit. And I really don't think anybody else can make that throw. I really don't. I don't think any other QB, Collinsworth said 2 or 3. I don't think Mahomes is older. I just don't think he gets away from those defenders. I don't know. Can make that accurate throw.
Like, again, I haven't seen anybody do it. I haven't seen anybody do the pre-throw. I haven't seen anybody go, I'm taking my eyes off downfield for the sole purpose of running away from these guys to get separation so that I can then re-look downfield with a half a second to make a decision on where to throw the ball and then fucking fling it.
So here's something I find interesting that I kind of want to bring, because we obviously are always talking QBs. Like, here's the discussion that it's bizarre to me that, like, everyone's like, Josh Allen, fucking choker, and Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson. Here's what none of you guys are talking about for some reason, which is bizarre to me. You're not talking about the young bucks who might just overtake that guard already. And I'm not saying they are, for the record, but you're not talking about the Caleb Williams. You're not talking about the Drake Mays, and you should be. That's the truth. You should be. The Bo Nix had a hell of a game.
Yeah,
Surprised me.
that older class of older mid, the Mahomes, the Josh Allens, the Lamar Jacksons, the Joe Burrows, the Bo Nixes, that older class, they need to keep their eye on these young bucks.
I knew you were going to do that. But, like, seriously, And that's all I'm saying is like, there's this weird notion with fans because they're fucking stupid. I know I say this all the time, but God, NFL fans are you're so dumb. So many of you are so dumb. The Homer fans. But there's this weird notion that like, they'll be back. Burrow will be back. Lamar will be back. Josh Allen will be back. Like, that's my point. You already have a new crop. One's in the championship game. One was this close to getting his team to the championship game in Caleb Williams. It's like, this is where we're at. Speaking of that, here's a wild, I saw this stat. Here's a wild one for you, Prano. Where is it? Did I pull that? I thought I pulled it here. Here's a wild stat from the, here it is, dude. I'll pull this up here for you. Here's a good one for you. The 2018 draft class, Prano. Look at this. Somebody posted this. Is Sam Darnold going to be the first one to make a Super Bowl? That's a wild stat. Baker Mayfield drafted first, Darnold third, Josh Allen seventh, Josh Rosen, who I think is a stockbroker now or something, 10th, and Lamar Jackson 32nd. So
what's crazy when you look at this list, what's crazy is Darnold, obviously, in the moment, has the best chance
for
by
sure.
a landslide.
Yeah.
You could argue Josh Rosen getting a workout with the Denver Broncos this week might put him too.
Insane. Absolutely insane right there. It really sucks for Denver. Like you talk about, I do. Like you feel not only do they have to go, are they going with Stidham? Did you see Stidham has not started a game since 2023? Now, could the Broncos win? Yeah. If Drake May keeps turning the ball over, I think anything's possible because I agree he's had too many turnovers. But I'm betting on the Patriots. They're favorites. I mean, are you as excited as I am of some of these young guns? Just like, here they are.
Yeah. I mean, you did the young guns. You didn't even do my boy Jackson Dart when you were young gunning.
Yeah, well, because
John Harbaugh, year 2.
Come on. But I already started making some bets. I already started making some bets on you boys.
That's right.
I got a buddy who's like, he was doing it again last night, bitching about Harbaugh. And I said, what is your deal, man? What is your problem? What is your Harbaugh?
What do you mean bitching about Harbaugh?
He's just like, he's hung up on the money. And I just, to my buddy, and if you're listening, bro. Yeah, I'm like, it's not your money.
Is he a Giants fan?
What's that? No, he's just like, he's just so overpaid for what he's done. And I was like, do you know how hard it is to win in the NFL consistently? And then I was like, and then of course I made the bet. I go, I'll bet you they make the playoffs next year. And I go, I'll throw a side bet that they win more games than the Ravens the next 3 years. The Ravens who've been a pretty model franchise. I was like, that's the faith I have in Harbaugh.
But also, what does too much money even mean? That's just now we're getting. I mean, I have no idea. We have so much football to cover. I have no idea.
My counter to him was,
I have no idea if Kyle Tucker is on this rundown today. But you want to talk about the money in sports?
My counter
There's
was
no fucking salary cap for coaches.
Yeah, well, but my counter was not even just sports. I said everything. I go, dude, I can make this argument that it's too much money for everything in life right now. Everything. I don't think anybody would hesitate to argue CEOs get paid too much or whatever. I said, but I'd make the same argument for everything right now.
Literally, except for Arizona Big Cans. It's like the one constant in this world.
So it's like
somebody comes back in a time machine. What year is it? How much are Arizona Big Cans? Like 9 out of 10. It's like, is it 1993? Is it 2017?
Or $1.50 massive Costco hot dog and a large drink. We need a CJ Stroud discussion though, too. Talking QBs. And did you see what Troy Aikman said and everybody was talking about?
Yep.
Okay, I don't have the clip pulled up, but I'll just paraphrase it. He basically said at the end of the game, he's like, look, man, he had a great rookie year. he's regressed the last 2 years. Like, these are discussions that they have to. He's like, this defense is so good. Again, in this game, like, they're in it. Like, you just are turning the ball over left and right.
Let me just say something. I think at one point, it might have been halftime, I popped on Twitter. I was still looking at, different shit from the other games. I pop on Twitter, and Orlovsky, I think, had tweeted, like, I think you got to give him a couple possessions, see where we're at, and then consider going to Davis Mills. I would just like to say, in any other instance like that, I would be like, fuck this fucking clown. How dare you? And I was like, I think he's right.
I agree.
Let me just do one thing here. CJ, it's not cool. No one likes it. We clown on the guys who do it all the time. I think you're a two-glove guy. I think you're a two-glover.
Who have been the two-glove guys? Teddy Bridgewater,
Roethlisberger, at points. Phillip Rivers, I think, at points.
Yeah, you're right.
I think you're a two-glove guy.
It's a good way of looking at it.
You can't be a 6 fumble a game guy. That ain't gonna get it done in the NFL. What are we doing here? We can't. You also can't have like that one was picked off. Was it, or did you throw the ball and it came loose while you were throwing it, and then you like punched it through the air, and then somebody caught it? Like, I don't know if that's an interception.
Because you and I both agree.
Which by the way is again, you want to talk about go back to the Josh Allen thing. Is that an interception or is that a fumble? Like that's how you know we need some consistency in the rules.
Yeah.
So the receiver had the ball stripped from him. That's an interception. CJ Stroud lost the ball halfway through his throwing motion, punched it in the air. It bounced off a lineman's head and was caught. I think that's a fumble, guys.
So look, he's played 3 years. They've made the playoffs all 3 years. They've won at least one playoff game all 3 years. But again, I think Troy Aikman made a great point at the end of that game, and he's right. He's like, D'Amico Ryans, they need to look at this situation because he's going to be due for a contract. The D has been great. You do have weapons now, especially receivers, some nice tight ends. I mean, look, like where would we? In my opinion, you have 3 years of evidence. It's a completely open discussion for who's the starting quarterback in 2026. In my opinion.
Let's just do it. Let's not pick any of the guys. Do they win that game if Bryce Young starts?
I think they have a better chance.
Do they win that game if Mac Jones starts?
Same thing. I'll say better chance. That's not good.
Do they win that game if Joe Flacco starts?
Yes.
There's guys out there. Do they win that game if Jameis starts?
I mean, really? We're going to talk about interceptions? No. I'm not going to say Jameis helps them. I mean, there are guys out there.
The reason I'm picking those guys, I'm throwing out guys who are like, I mean, Bryce Young is not going to be available, but guys who are like in the realm of available to.
But Joe, if I took all the other, right there were 7 other teams entering this previous weekend's play, right? If I'm naming all 7 other teams, you're going to say, yes, they win that game if they have those QBs. Are you not?
Yeah.
It's kind of proving the point then. If you're not hesitating that every other QB of the teams left available gives you a better shot, that's a problem. Even 65-year-old Aaron Rodgers is going to give you a better shot than CJ Stroud. It's a problem, man. That they're going to have to address
Aaron Rodgers pivoted immediately to. He's already on what's his name's podcast. Did you see that? Did you pre-tape this dog?
What did he go on?
Fucking bow tie boy. Tucker Carlson.
Oh, that must have been pre-taped.
I'm just saying, like, where's your head in the? We're talking about head in the game. You're talking the Mossad and Epstein Island on Tucker Carlson within 26 hours of being eliminated from the fucking playoffs.
Classic Rodgers. I don't think he's coming back next year. I think he's done.
I think he's got bigger fish to fry.
Get those files released. Come on, Aaron. You can do it.
Yeah. Well, don't even get me started on Aaron Rodgers and the Epstein files.
But why did you listen to it?
No. Yeah. Well, first of all, Aaron Rodgers having a boner for the Epstein files while fucking while stumping for RFK for president is a wild take.
Is he in the files?
He admitted to being a fucking Jeffrey Epstein cohort that flew on the Lolita Express. He's the one guy who was like, I'm gonna get in front of it and try to do the fucking dance around it. I didn't know. I was just boys with them.
Well, look, I think it gets murky. I think the Epstein thing. Here's my thing on the Epstein thing. I think a lot of people. I think it's tough to not know.
Yeah, he was a pedophile.
If you're flying on a yeah, I think everybody.
Yeah, that no shit, Andy.
I think everybody knew. It's the same.
I didn't know Ronald McDonald was into burgers. I'm a vegan. This is crazy.
No, but it's the same question I posed with Diddy, right? Like I always say they're very similar. Like people like I say Hollywood in general. Like I know that's just a probably not the best not stereotype, but just generalization. But like I always say that with Diddy, the same thing. I go, well, how many people knew?
Bro, I say, do you remember Mace's first album? You know how fucking massive that was? But Mace was like a fucking reverend, and he was like, I'm good. I'm retiring from music. And
did he just do one album before he turned into a reverend?
One or two. And it was like, why did Mace Mace just didn't want to be a billionaire?
It is crazy that he just became a reverend.
And he was like, yeah, I watched Diddy fuck an underage dude. I'm out.
And for that reason, I'm out.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is crazy if you think about it. But back to the CJ Stroud discussion. What do you do? Again, if you're Houston, you know your division. You know what you're up against. You know the AFC. I mean, the D still, Joe, even in that game.
2 gloves, no extension.
Right. The D still played good, I'd say.
Good. They played great.
Like,
they're getting turnovers.
They're getting after it.
I mean, listen, you really can't.
I just love that your solution. This is hilarious to me. Your solution is 2 gloves.
No, well, listen, my solution is 2 gloves, no extension. Let's start with 2 gloves. But I said it about Brock Purdy, and I said it about at some point, some team has to be the one that's like, we're not doing it.
Well, this is going to be the team. But I also don't think it's fair. I think that's apples to oranges a little because Stroud's never had the statistical numbers of a Brock Purdy or made a Super Bowl. You know, it's like.
No, but Mac Jones did in the 4 games that he relieved him on the Niners, as did Jimmy Garoppolo before that. And, you know, every other person who's played fucking quarterback for the Niners under Kyle Shanahan.
Shots fired. Yeah, no, look, I agree. I think the Brock Purdy contract was awful. I don't know why they did it. And then they absolutely got there. I did not see that game. Missed that game. I mean,
that's my whiff of the weekend.
Jeez, Niners. Way to show up.
And listen, and you know what? I'm not even going to dignify the idea that you have to give props to the Seattle Seahawks. Like, holy shit. Good for you guys. I've been a non-believer the whole year. I've mostly been a non-believer because of Sam Darnold.
Same.
I wouldn't say I'm fully a believer. I don't think that the Seahawks are winning the Super Bowl, but at this point, you have as good a shot as anybody because fuck it. You are a well-coached, good defense, home field advantage football team that maybe you want to talk about fucking great football teams. Maybe you can overcome Sam Darnold being who he is and will always be. And good for you to be like, we give us any veteran, we'll do it.
So my thing on Seattle is this: can they overcome Sam Darnold?
Dude, Sam Darnold might not be a factor.
Well, you're right. If the D plays what it's capable of, I don't feel.
Is it? Listen, we've done this
to
with
win
Seattle.
2 more games. I just don't think they can do 2 more games.
We've done this with Seattle before. The whole world was on one side of it. I was on the other. Is this?
I think it's a terrible comparison.
I'm just saying, is this the Russell Wilson run where he doesn't factor in at all? Or is this the Russell Wilson run where he throws an interception and lose the whole season?
I just think Russell Wilson wasn't the turnovers. That's been Darnold's issue. Like here's my thing with Darnold. Obviously the Seahawks are favorite. This will be the rubber match with the Rams. I'll be rooting for the Rams. I think they'll win. Won't be shot. I think it's almost a 50-50 game. I don't think Darnold can do this 2 more games. That's just my take. Like
what did he do yesterday?
You're right. He didn't have to do much. That's a good point.
He didn't do a fucking thing. What are you talking about? I mean, you want to talk about Russell Wilsoning?
I mean, you're right. 12 of 17, 124 yards.
Yeah. So what he
pass.
can't do it. He can't do that again. I think he could do that again.
Well, my counter is I don't think the teams will allow. My counter is you're playing the remaining teams.
They won by 40, bro.
I know. The Niners have had a pretty bad defense this year overall. I'm just saying. I just think you have the Rams. Your options for the final 2 games are Rams defense, Broncos defense, Patriots defense. I just don't think. I think he's going to have to make more than 17 passes.
Okay. Here's my take on it. I don't think Sam Darnold. I think Sam Darnold is the worst quarterback left besides the Broncos backup. And I absolutely agree that everything we know about football says at some point he's going to have to make a play in the next 2 games if he wants to win the Super Bowl. But he might not have to.
He might not. He might not have to.
I'm not counting on the Seahawks. The reason I don't believe in the Seahawks is Sam Darnold. Let's see if they can manage to do it without Sam Darnold being a factor. Maybe they go in and again, everybody wants to suck off Russell Wilson. Maybe they go in and they're winning the game before Sam Darnold takes the field.
Yeah, and I agree. Look, it is possible.
Which is, by the way, what happened yesterday or 2 days ago.
Yeah, they started the game with a kickoff return.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Look, I get it. I mean, and not just Russell Wilson. It's like Trent Dilfer has a Super Bowl. Brad Johnson has a Super Bowl. Those were both on the backs of their defense. Jim McMahon, I know he doesn't remember. He does have a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
No memory of it at all. Probably can't even spell Super Bowl. Got a Super Bowl.
He can spell Soup Bowl because it's the only thing he eats these days. Soup Bowl. Are you remembering the Super Bowl? Soup Bowl. Oh, he's giving us his lunch order.
So we do have some not recent, but I guess, relatively recent matchups possibly, right? We could have a Rams Patriots. We could have a Seahawks Broncos.
We get a Rams Patriots Super Bowl every 10 years now. This is like clockwork for us.
We could have a Seahawks Seattle. Patriots Seattle. I was laughing because I was trying to explain to Brittany. I was like, the NFL does not want a Houston Seattle Super Bowl. She's like, why? And I was like, come on. Marketing purposes. Nobody wants. I go, I wouldn't hate it. I don't care. But I was like, they don't I was like, it's like
it's already happening in the streets. ICE versus the protesters. They don't need that shit.
yeah, I was like, we don't, I was like, again, I don't really care. Like Houston's D is fun to watch. I don't know. Like the Rams have been weird too to figure out. Like I don't know. I don't know how this is going to play out. I mean, regardless, I think we both agree. All amazing storylines. Sam Darnold making the Super Bowl is an amazing storyline. A Matt Stafford versus a Drake May, the future Matt Stafford, is a fascinating storyline. Jarrett Stidham making a Super Bowl is wild.
Josh Rosen backing him up.
Does Sean Payton call Tom Brady?
Where's Brock Osweiler? How is this guy not? Give the man a call. Also, if Phillip Rivers could come back, Peyton Manning could come back. He's already got the gold jacket. Do you have to give the gold jacket if you're in already and you come out of retirement?
How does that work, though? For real? Could Sean Payton? Could he call? How does that work? Could he just call somebody?
Also, was Sean Payton a quarterback back in the day? Because, like, do you go the Pete Rose? You go the coach player? He's not that much older than Bo Nix.
Oh, man. I give the Broncos very little chance. I really do.
Very little chance.
I just think Vrabel's too good of a coach. He's like licking his chops. It doesn't mean the game.
What's the spread on that game?
It's 5.5 right now.
Yeah, that tracks.
And again, it doesn't mean that.
I mean, I agree with you.
It doesn't mean that Denver can't keep it close. I just, like a defensive battle, I'm just like, I just think Mike Vrabel's too good of a coach.
Okay. Don't worry about that.
I know you got to check out.
Yeah, but we got a minute.
I'm trying to see if I look up any other notes I took. Oh, did you see the Falcons hired Stefanski?
I did see that. I think it's a great hire for them.
It's a great hire for them. I also saw this I wanted to bring up because I know you and I have talked a lot about the show. The Manningcast is down about half the viewers that it used to get.
Well, I got to say,
and I know a lot of people are probably saying the same things you and I actually say.
Well, my thing is I'd rather the Mannings than just like I'd rather one guest to show.
Well, I know most people in the comments were saying, I know we'd probably agree. Most people were like, how about no guests? These guys are great with each other. They're brothers. They riff.
I think yeah, I mean, I would have no problem with that. But if they're thinking, oh, we got to get a guest because we get the viral moments, we can post it the next day. At the very least, I would go if it was gun to my head, you have to make a decision. We need guests on the show. I would go cool. Second quarter guest, third quarter guest. Middle of the game is guests. First quarter and fourth quarter, Eli and Peyton. But let's talk about it, Andy, because, a week ago, I was like, I tweeted you or I texted you something that they were talking about, and you're like, I'm on the regular broadcast. So we don't need to do market research. You are our market research. You watched the regular broadcast on the Monday night.
I did.
Talk
you know
to us
why?
about it. No, that's why we're asking.
Yeah, well, the reason why I just, again, the guest is definitely one of the main things. Plus, I want to know what the truth is. Regular season playoffs is different. I want to know exactly what's going on from the announcers. And by the way, that is no disrespect to Peyton or Eli. I think they're amazing. I think the show is great. I agree. It's too guest driven, guys. I don't need to hear what George W. Bush says. I just don't give a shit. I just don't care. I don't care. I don't want to hear like to me, you kind of jump the shark when Bob Iger's coming on. Oh, Disney.
I can fix the Texans right now. 2 towers, 2 gloves. Never forget the disaster that was the divisional round playoffs of the Texans.
It's like, that's cool.
And
you
if
guys
he still fumbles, 2 gloves, still fumbles, that's a Tower 7.
like, it's great that you can get former presidents, right? They've had Obama, they've had Bush. Like, that's huge for you guys. That's great. Like, that shows the star power that those guys have.
I think it's very simple. If you're going to have the double, give me one guess that has something to do with one team, one guess that has something to do with the other team. Second and third quarters, meat of the game, the doldrums of the game, where you're whatever. Beginning of the game, I want those guys breaking down. When it comes down to the end of the game, I don't need a game coming down to the final play and Glenn Powell calling the play-by-play.
Exactly.
What would Chad Powers do in this situation? Well, I don't know, because he's a fictional character.
And again, those guys are both charming and funny and charismatic, and they're brothers. And we both know this.
And
they're brothers.
And they're more knowledgeable about football than any two broadcast pairing that's ever existed.
Yeah. So I think it's like, take for example. I mean, I wouldn't you have loved to hear those guys' takes on that interception?
Absolutely.
A guy who played for the Broncos, like a guy who, obviously they're both offensive minded, so there is bias there. But it's like, I want to hear that. Like you're saying, the wealth of knowledge that those guys have. I think you need to get back to that.
I don't need random celebrities. I don't need corporate shills, and I don't need criminal former NFL players,
or presidents who we don't, to steal corporate word, to align with in any way. Like, I don't really care what those guys have to say. Yeah, we'll see how it plays out. What was I going to say? But to answer your question a little more thoroughly, the reason I just want to know exactly what was going on in that game. Now, it didn't really matter because Steelers ended up getting blown out in the fourth quarter, but that's why. And the truth is, I think Buck and Aikman are great. I do. I'm going to say great at this point. I think they're great. I think they're a great team. I think they work well together. They have the history. They have the experience. And that was a reason also, because of all those other factors, why I tuned into them for a playoff game. End of story. Now, Peyton might be on your side, might be like, hey, all right, CJ, 2 gloves. Like, did Brady ever do 2 gloves? I think Brady might have at some point.
Yeah.
They need like who would be like the 2 Chainz version going, 2 gloves?
It's got to be Teddy Bridgewater.
Yeah, he would be good with that.
Even though he's the whitest guy of all the guys we named. 2 gloves?
2 gloves over here? Could I get 2 gloves? Dose gloves. You referenced it. Did you want to talk about the Kyle Tucker signing?
I just listen. I don't want
sport, man.
What's that?
Broken sport.
Broken sport. Absolutely. Wanted a salary cap my whole life. Still need it. Also, the Mets are embarrassing themselves because they exist in a world where there is no salary cap. It was supposed to be the only reason that they had any sort of advantage over any other teams. You have the richest owner, and you're still not doing anything. Mets fans who are whining about Kyle Tucker taking a better deal from the Dodgers than the New York Mets. A team, again, we're doing this with the same thing we did with Edwin Diaz. He got a better deal from a better team. The Mets have one way of competing with the Dodgers. Outbid them to a point where they cannot, in good faith, match the deal. That's how you get the players you want. No one's ever coming to Queens over Southern California. No one's ever coming to a team that missed the playoffs over a team that's building a dynasty. You have one opportunity to get the players instead of them going to the Dodgers. Grossly outbid them. And if you don't know that, then you're not qualified to be the GM of the New York Mets. And guess what? If you're a fucking cuck for a billionaire and you're saying, Kyle Tucker took the fucking deal that the Mets gave him and presented it to the Dodgers. And then the Mets did all the work. You're embarrassing yourself. Why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you go, hey, you're a better team. Will you match this deal? Sure. Okay. I'm signing with you. Derek Jeter never became a free agent because the New York Yankees offered him $19 million a year for 10 years when his market rate was $12 million a year for 5 years. Derek Jeter never became a free agent because the Yankees signed him to a $190 million deal when the rest of the world would have given him a $60 million deal. That's why the Yankees were the Dodgers then. George Steinbrenner is dead. Hal Steinbrenner has taken over. You no longer have to worry about the Yankees because Hal Steinbrenner is dumb and George Steinbrenner was smart. George Steinbrenner understood how the economics of Major League Baseball worked. Hal Steinbrenner doesn't. The Dodgers understand how the economics of Major League Baseball works. David Stearns doesn't. Now, is David Stearns learning? Because then he pivoted by offering Bo Bichette an absurd amount of money that no one would match. He paid Bo Bichette $42 million a year. No one in their right mind was ever going to pay Bo Bichette $42 million a year. And therefore, the Mets had Bo Bichette. But in an offseason where you wouldn't give Pete Alonso $31 million, but you gave Bo Bichette $42 million, you seem to be embarrassing yourself. And guess what? I'd rather you learn now and pivot and say, I was wrong. Joe Prano was right this whole time. The only way to get any player we want is to grossly overpay everybody. Great. But guess what? If you're a New York Mets fan, it comes down to one thing and one thing alone. The Dodgers won the World Series last year. And this offseason, the Dodgers widened the gap. The Mets are not closer to beating the Dodgers than they were at the end of last year. And the reason is one reason and one reason alone. The Mets didn't spend enough money. That is a broken system. You have the best. You don't have the best, but you have the richest owner in baseball and you're getting outbid. You're a failure.
Let me ask you something about the Reds. So it came out that they offered Ellie De La Cruz the biggest contract that they would have ever offered anybody in their franchise. And he turned it down. You know, Scott Boras is his agent. And he turned it down, which who knows what the Reds offered, right? Smaller market. And I think they have him under contract for another like 3 seasons, maybe. My question is for a team like the Reds, do you just get the haul for him?
Yeah.
You're not gonna be able to sign him.
Yeah.
You just trade him now and get a haul.
Yeah.
Is that the move?
Yeah.
Because
Because
what I thought.
you're not trying to win baseball. You're not trying to win a World Series. But also the other thing is baseball is bullshit because the Reds can just keep him and sell tickets this year because they're not actually trying to win. So you may as well sell as many tickets as you can with Ellie De La Cruz before you let him go and you move on to the next guy because your goal isn't winning a World Series. And that's fine. And guess what? At this point, only one team is. And they're playing within the rules, which is why baseball has always needed a salary cap. What's so frustrating as a Mets fan is there was a window here before the cap where you have the richest owner in baseball, but you're fucking Metsing. Dodgers are winning the World Series again next year. Hope you like it. Enjoy baseball. Doesn't matter.
I wonder what sport is going to be fixed first. Baseball, I should say sports, or college sports. Did you see, like, I don't understand it. I saw the QB, what's his name, Carson Beck for Miami. Like, the reporter asked him like something about classes, and he goes, I don't know classes. He goes, I don't attend classes. He goes, I graduated from Georgia a couple of years ago. And everybody's like, wait, what? Like, Like, it's just very confusing. Like, he's just maybe taking like a 100 level class at the U, taught by Michael Irvin.
He's bettering himself. He's taking professional courses. He's taking owning car dealerships for former athletes. They're like, you put your name on it. You put your name on the little plastic thing that you put outside the license plate. Yada yada yada. Profit.
It's funny you bring that up. We started watching. It's not good, but I was like, she'll watch this with me. There's a Netflix doc. It came out last year. It's with Shaq and AI. They're trying to bring back Reebok basketball.
Amazing.
She's like, I love Shaq. Let's watch it. I go, okay. So Shaq's the president of the So Shaq is like officially, Shaq apparently has a big equity in Reebok now. And so he's and I know it's more of a figurehead, but he's the president of like the basketball side. And he made AI his vice president. Dude, it's so funny. Like, Shaq's just going around, they're trying to get, because Reebok is out of the game,
right?
Completely out of the basketball game.
Yeah.
And those two guys were lifelongers, and like they kept them relevant, and they were always, I guess, number 2 behind Nike. And then once Adidas bought Reebok, they basically gave up on the shoe, the basketball shoe. But it's so funny. Shaq's just walking around, and he's just like, hey, there was like a FedEx guy's like, he's like delivering something at Reebok. He's like, next time you're in here, what's your shoe size? I'm gonna get you a new pair of Reeboks. And he's just going up to people.
Pump it up.
There's like a group of like Asian tourists at the Reebok store, but they're like shopping and they're wearing Nikes. He's like, take those shoes off. I'll get you some. He's like, everything is on me. Get you some Reeboks. Take some photos. And it's like, they like don't speak English, but they like know who he is. They know he's somebody, and they're taking photos. It's so funny. And then he's like, come on, let's get in the picture together. And I'm just like, they like show his. It's kind of cool. They show his house. They call it he calls it the Shackingham Palace in Atlanta. But like, it is kind of interesting, like how they're trying to
check this out.
I mean, it's like when you're doing something else. Yeah.
Well, we got to wrap this up.
Yeah.
I got to get out of here. But on Shaq stories, tomorrow on more stories. We got Byron Scott with some good Shaq stuff, some good Kobe stuff, some good Lakers stuff, some good Jason Kidd stuff. He hates Jason Kidd. So give a listen to more stories tomorrow. I really enjoyed Byron Scott conversation, so check that out. If you're in and around Orange County this Wednesday, come see me and Nate Craig headlining the Irvine Improv 2 days from now. This Wednesday, joepraner.com for shows. I got to check out this Airbnb.
Cool. All right, guys, that's a show. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on Friday. Have a great week. And as always, stay dirty.